Well, hello. Welcome to Essential Crochet with me, Sig. So today I'm doing another yarn haul video. Obviously, we're going with Premier this time. Now, I have purchased Premier yarns in the past, but never from the actual company Premier. So this time I decided that I would try ordering from Premier just to see. I mean, some of the yarns that I've gotten from them in the past, I've liked. And so I decided, well, let's give them a try. I'll give them a try. I'll see, what it's like to order from this company. And I did. And I'm going to show you what I purchased. And as usual, I'm going to show you what I purchased. I'm going to give you my opinions on the yarn and what I think. Also, I will tell you what it retails out because I typically buy these things on sale. So I will tell you what it retails for and what I was able to purchase it for and what my savings look like in the end. So, without too much more, let's just go ahead and get started. The first item I got from Premier is DK Dots. Now, most of the yarns I'm showing you, I have never tried. This is my first time giving them a try. I don't really know what to expect from some of them, but we'll see. We'll see what I think. Everyday Dots is one of those yarns I have never tried before. It's anti-peeling. It's one of the Premier yarns, so I expected it to be a decent acrylic, and it is. I like the fact that it's, looks really good wash after wash, so long as you're good about washing them correctly. Now with this one, this particular yarn has been, or at least the label says that it's been tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. And that's particularly interesting, and that I really, really like because, some people have skin sensitivities. If you're making something for a baby, not only is this yarn really soft, especially for an acrylic, it's going to be gentle against baby skin. I really appreciate this about Premier's anti-peeling yarns. So they say this is a light 3, and I would almost agree with that. I think it's probably closer to a 2, but light 3 covers it for me. You're going to wash and warm. Do not bleach. You can tumble dry on normal. Do not iron and do not dry clean. This particular colorway is called confectionery, and it does. It looks like little candy sprinkles, for lack of a better description. Now, they tell me the recommended hook size for this yarn is going to be a USG or a size 6. And then in knitting needle size, US size, they're going to suggest that you use a US 6. Now, both hook and needles, it's suggested, if you're talking in terms of metrics, it suggests you use a 4mm hook. So now these yarns, 100 grams, so that's going to give me 273 yards or 250 meters. And that's all right. That'll work, especially for a lightweight like this. I like it. I like the subtle colors. I think this is a great baby yarn. I mean, I even look at the colors and I see baby outfit or some sort of baby accessory, and I'm totally good with that. If I were to have bought these 3 skeins separately, I would have paid $4.99 for each skein. But I purchased them in a bundle, and because I purchased them in a bundle, I paid a total of $8.97. So, about a little more than $2, just under $3. I think we're looking at $2.99 per skein. So I saved $2. I'm not going to, per skein by buying them in a bundle of 3. And that works for me. I'm okay with that. Now, this time I purchased a 3-count bundle of the Premier Anti-Peeling Everyday DK prints. Now, just like the DK dots, I thought I was getting 100 grams. I should have looked more carefully. But in fact, what I'm actually getting is I'm actually getting 85 grams. That's a little disappointing. I don't know what this normally comes in, but 85 grams seems frankly odd, but okay. So that'll give me 233 yards or 213 meters. Now, the yarn itself is still really soft. It's a nice acrylic. As far as acrylics go, I really like Premier Anti-Peeling. I'm totally good with it. The 85 grams threw me for a little bit of a loop, but okay, I'll get over it. The colors, they're nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn yet. I just really got it on a very good deal, a very good sale. So I purchased it, but maybe the sale wasn't so good if I'm only getting 85 grams. You know what I'm saying? Just putting it out there a little bit. Maybe everything just going to kind of work itself out in the wash with regards to the fact that I'm not getting 100 grams. However, again, the yarn is attested and approved against 350 harmful substances. So if you've got sensitive skin or you're making an item for a baby, saving a few dollars just may not be worth the alternative. So you spend a little more and you get a little something that's actually going to work for your needs. That's something else to take into consideration. Again, they consider this a light 3. I consider it a solid 2, but that's neither here nor there. You're still looking at the same hook sizes, right? So USG or a size 6 or a US 6 for knitting needles, and both of them are suggested to use a 4mm hook. Again, wash on warm, tumble dry, no bleaching, no ironing, no dry cleaning. There it goes. I can spit that out. Now, the colorway of this is called Lovey. And I really kind of like it. It's really pretty. It's really subtle for a small child or a baby. There again, I think this color can work out quite nicely for that. This is what we're looking at. So this bundle, the bundle itself, if I were to have paid retail for the bundle, I would have paid $14.97. I was able to get the bundle of 3 on sale for $7.50. Basically, what does that give me? I'm going to be off, but about $2.50 a skein. See, $2.50 a skein, I can overlook the 85 grams thing for $2.50 a skein. So I'll take that and consider it a really good deal still. So as you can see, I clearly thought that this Premier Anti-Peeling yarn, the Everyday DK prints, was such a good deal that I purchased another bundle. This bundle, it has all the same specs, all the same pros and cons, except the colorway for this is Lullaby. And I just thought this was a wonderful color for a baby boy. I really love the light blue next to this nice beigey color next to the white. It really, I think it's very tasteful and very nice. And then of course all the good things that come with this particular yarn. And then last but not least, I did one more bundle of this Premier Anti-Peeling Everyday prints. Again, I really like the colors. I think these colors are a little more mature, so maybe for an older child. If you're going off colors, I mean, clearly you could use any color you want at any age. It really is up to you. But I think in terms of, the standard trope, this is a more mature color for maybe an older child or something along those lines. Again, the same pros and cons, 85 grams, but you can wash this and wear this. Tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. It's soft. It really is lovely for an acrylic. Yeah, I buy it again. Now the next bundle I purchased was this universal yarn. It's more of a novelty yarn. It's called Bamboo Bloom Hand Paints. It's really quite interesting. And I tell you why I think it's interesting. Okay, so first of all, I think it's interesting because of the combination of fibers used in this yarn. It's 48% rayon from bamboo, it's 44% wool, and 8% acrylic. Now, this yarn is just kind of all over. We've got thin pieces, we've got thick roving pieces. The color is really kind of pretty. It's really weird because in the online, I thought I understood it to say that the colorway was wabi sabi. However, when I look at the tag, it says reflecting pool. So, 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. I'm not really sure why, but okay. Now, this is not a yarn I would normally buy. First off, it's more a novelty yarn, and I'm not really sure what I would do with it. So I'm going to have to put some thought into it. Secondly, had I purchased these separately or paid retail price for these 5 hanks, I would have spent $67.50. Yeah, that's, while this yarn is super interesting and the colors are really pretty, for me, I wouldn't spend that much money on this yarn, especially since I clearly have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Even though I think it's super interesting and it's really pretty soft. It's not the softest yarn I've ever felt, but it's better, it's more soft than moderate. So it sits sort of in a high moderate range in terms of what I consider soft. And it really is quite beautiful and it's quite interesting to look at. Texturally speaking, I'm loving it. But not for $67.50. Then they put this on sale for $29. Okay, now I'm interested, but am I interested enough to pay $29 for yarn I don't know what I'm going to do with or have any clear idea? Then they offered it up to me for $21.76. It's a difference of $7.24, and that was just enough to tip me over to the dark side and buy me some pretty novelty yarn I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I'm not unhappy at all with this purchase. I think it's going to be really interesting to work with. It feels good. It looks good. Now I'm curious to see how it works up. So I'm pretty excited about this purchase right here. Okay, so let's talk some specs. So each one of these hanks is going to be 100 grams. And it's considered a bulky yarn. And for your 100 grams, you're going to get 154 yards or 140 meters. It's definitely a hand wash and a lay flat to dry. Do not iron. Do not bleach. However, you can dry clean. So that's interesting. You see, this one is made in Turkey. And I'm not being... Oh, wait, here we go. In terms of crochet hook size, they recommend a K or size 10.5. For those of you who use metrics, a 6.5 millimeter hook. If you're a knitter, you're looking at a US size 9 for your knitting needles or a 5.5 millimeter needles. The next yarn I purchased, I've never used this before. I was very interested in it. The price was really good. And so I thought I'd give it a try. And interestingly enough, I really wanted to get more in this quilt color. But again, SIG is usually late to the party. And there were only 2 of these skeins left. So I purchased them. And then I purchased another color I'm going to show you. And the other color I didn't think I liked as much while looking at it online. But as it turns out, I'm glad I was only able to get 2 of these, because the other color, which I purchased 4 of, is a color I actually like a whole lot better now that I see them in real life. So this is called Unity Beyond by Fibra Nutura. Again, looking at some interesting fiber combination. This is going to be a 36% wool, 28% cotton, 18% linen, and 18% bamboo. So this is kind of like, you know, the kitchen sink being thrown into a fiber, into a yarn. Again, we have 100 grams, which is going to give us 240 meters or 262 yards. It's a 3 weight. Yeah, I'm going to say that's a 2, but they say it's a 3 light. Also, if you're a knitter, they suggest a US size 6 or 4 millimeter knitting needles. And if you are a crocheter, they're suggesting a size G or 6 US sizes or a 4 millimeter. Everyone else sizes. This is a hand wash, do not bleach, lay flat to dry, do not iron. However, you can dry clean. It's made in Turkey. The colorway of this particular yarn is 205, or otherwise known as Coral Wash. So I was really interested in this. I'm going to be interested in seeing if it actually softens up, especially with that linen in it. If it softens up once it's been washed, that'll be interesting. I thought this might make a nice summer top, but clearly I probably don't have enough here to make a summer top for myself, but I could probably make it for a smaller person. I'll see what happens, or maybe I find another use for this. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how that works up. And of course, I hope you're around for when I highlight it in a project. I don't know that I would call it sunrise. It doesn't really make that much sense to me in terms of that color. I mean, I kind of get where they were going with the name, but that's neither here nor there. I actually really ended up liking this color a lot. I think you can see it through the plastic. So yeah, so I'm really excited to see how this works up. For this Unity yarn, it retailed out at $12.50. I paid $4.99 a skein. Now, the next yarns I got several. I got a black, a green, a purple, and a white of this. It's their value economy kind of yarn. They normally sell them for $7.99 for 400 grams. This was on sale for me for $5.99. So this particular yarn is their economy yarn. It's 100% acrylic, hand wash, dry flat. I purchased this not because I'm particularly thrilled with it or the price. I purchased this because I'm considering a kid's Afghan with Halloween colors, and the yarns that were of the Halloween colors that I liked were all sold out. I was a little late to the party. So I decided this will be fine. I just use economy yarn because this is going to get dragged through the mud anyways. So I wanted something that was durable, not very expensive. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to be, I'm going to be able to throw it into a washing machine, which I really wasn't expecting. And I only just noticed that now. So that doesn't make me particularly happy, and certainly not for the quality of this yarn. If I'm going to purchase yarn like this, I want it to be super easy to deal with. Just throw it in the washer and dry it normally. The kids can drag it all over the place, and there's not a lot that's going to hurt it. But so that's not that, that's something that I missed. So I'm going to put this one aside, and I'll show you the other colors. They're all the same exact yarn, and there's one bag that's already opened, and so I'll pull out that particular yarn. I saw the purple, and this is the white. And I also got black. Again, you know, they're all the same exact yarn. And then I got the green. Now, the fill of this yarn is even weird, right? So the fill of the yarn is kind of like, it really reminds me a lot, not quite as Super Saver. Red Heart Super Saver is actually softer. You can believe that. And it's a little thinner. But this yarn is quite, it's like cording. Oh, it's very strong. You know, there's not a lot of play to it. It's thick. Um, it's not soft, not particularly. So I don't really know what I think about this. Like I said, it would have been fine for kids, but not at the expense of having to hand wash. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do now. I'll probably still make the Afghan I've got in my mind's eye, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes and how it works out, because I still like to see how this works up. But I'll most likely not buy this again. I'm not that impressed. I mean, I really didn't expect to be. So next, I bought 2 of the Surprise Fashion Plus bags. Again, you know, the cheap yarn, and they were mystery bags. And I got the mystery bags because they're still 400 grams of yarn, but I believe I only paid like $5 for the mystery bag, right? So I figured, okay, well, you know, if it's a bust, it's a bust. And this particular mystery bag, this is, you know, a yarn that I did not, you know, it was a mystery. It was a surprise. And yes, indeed, it was a surprise. This is one of the ugliest yarns I think I've ever seen. I think it's definitely acrylic. I think it's supposed to be kind of a sort of an acrylic version of mohair, and then it's got like kind of like these tweedy little specks in there. And really, what this yarn reminds me of is like matted shag carpeting. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It is just awful. It just makes my stomach hurt to look at it. It's just ick. And then it's this color of like prune juice. Oh, every time I look at it, I just start laughing because it's so fugly. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I've got 400 grams of the stuff. I'm gonna pack it away, and maybe there will become a project along the way where this is just going to be perfect for that. But I mean, I just look at it and I just see bits of stuff, you know, stuck in matted shag carpeting. I know. And if you like this and you're offended by my observation and my opinion, I'm sorry, but gods, this is ugly. Anyways, so this was a good humorous relief, or comic relief for me, because it's just so fugly. I can't stop laughing every time I look at it. I did get another bag, however, another mystery bag, and this one fared much better, and I'll show it to you here in just a moment. So this is the second mystery bag that I've got. The yarn is much better. Clearly, it's DK. It's a baby yarn. It's probably their basic baby acrylic. Maybe it's even, you know, the anti-pilling stuff. Maybe, or maybe it's the ice cream yarn. I don't know, really. But it's nice. It's soft. The colors are good. And this will work up just nicely. And this will be a nice, you know, this is just nice baby colors. And so 400 grams of this, I'm totally okay with. I'm not unhappy with this one at all. So that about wraps up my first and possibly my last encounter with Premier Yarn, the company. There's plenty of Premier Yarn that I really like, and I'll continue to purchase, but I probably won't purchase it from the company. So this is how everything breaks down. So breaking down my entire Premier Yarn cost, if I had paid retail for everything, I would have paid $250.32. Then you add in the $32.99 it was for me to do the shipping, and it came to a total of $283.31. However, with the sales and the savings I received, my price was $119.12 plus the shipping being $32.99. And so that brought my grand total up to $152.10, respectively speaking. So really, at the end of the day, I saved a total of $131.20. That was a grand total savings of 54%. That wasn't too bad. The only thing I really, always kind of get cringy about is the shipping cost. And I don't know that that's the company's fault. I mean, it's not like they're an Amazon or anything where they can work out these ridiculous deals for really cheap shipping. It's hard, I don't know anything about that. But I do have a hard time with it because everything costs so much to ship here to Alaska. And, $32.99, that's like having something sent over from the UK, and Premier is a US store. So I get it. Yeah, I don't know. Also, there are yarns that I like from Premier, and I'll continue to purchase those yarns. But I don't know if I'm going to be so quick to order anything from Premier again, because I really didn't feel incentivized. I don't use their yarn that often. I kind of already know what I like, and I get it from other places just as easily, other vendors where I'm not paying that kind of shipping for. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll go back to Premier one of these days. I just have a lot of other vendors that I just simply like better, and for many reasons. But at the end of the day, Premier's all right. So now comes the time where I would just like to wish you a most wonderful weekend and a very happy post-holidays. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.